Wow, look at this. Oh my God. The art of making bicolor croissants is a delightful and elegant process that will elevate your baking skills to the next level. These croissants are not only visually stunning with their brown stripes, but they also offer a unique and sophisticated twist on a classic pastry. To achieve the perfect bicolor croissant, attention to detail is key. The secret lies on creating thin, delicate colored layers that harmonize beautifully with the buttery flakiness of the croissant. The thinness of the colored part is crucial, as it can make or break the texture of the final product. With the right technique and little patience, you can master the art of crafting these fancy croissants that will impress even the most discerning pastry aficionados. Join me on a culinary journey as I walk you through the intricate steps of making your very own bicolor croissants. Prepare to be amazed as you witness the magic of baking unfold before your eyes. Hey, Bruno Albouze here. Welcome to my blog, brunoalbouze.com. Alright guys, enough talking. Let's get started. Alright, so for the croissant dough, you will need a 1-to-1 ratio of cold water and milk, fresh yeast, sugar, and honey. Stir that up and add 2 types of flours, bread and all-purpose. Add the salt and the room temperature butter. Mix for 5 minutes on low speed until it comes together like so. Then increase mixer speed to medium-high and knead for 6 minutes or until the dough pulls away from the sides of the bowl. Transfer dough on the countertop without the use of any extra flour. And by the way, avoid at all costs to add extra flour or liquid during the mixing process. If you've got to that point, the recipe must be wrong. Now, let's do the window pan test. Looks awesome. That means the gluten is well developed and your dough is ready to rise. Shape the dough into a tight round and transfer to a lightly oiled bowl. This helps prevent the dough from sticking and allows for easier removal later on. And place the dough in the refrigerator overnight. So, now the $1 million question. What matters the most in croissant making? The answer is high-fat butter. Higher butter fat means less water, therefore tastier and ideal for the lamination. Let's make the butter block then. So you simply want to turn the room temperature butter into a 6 by 6 inches, 15 by 15 centimeters square. This can be made in advance. So we're gonna need 2 of these. Alright, let's grab our croissant dough from the refrigerator. It's been approximately 12 hours. Look at this pretty thing. Amazing, right? Oops, no need for flour dusting here. My bad. I love the smell of the fermented dough. It looks and feels like a Tempur-Pedic pillow, isn't it? Not gonna take a nap now, baby. Alright, so you want to take 300 grams out, and that's gonna be for the colored dough. Set aside for now. And what's left is going to be cut in half to make 2 batches of croissant. If you are a professional baker though, and have one of these pastry sheeter, also called dough sheeter, in your lab, no need to split the croissant dough in half. Deflate the dough and shape into 2 tight ovals. Let rest 10 minutes and turn them into narrow rectangles like so. And place on a frozen tray and freeze for 20 minutes. Then flip and freeze again. Alright, so next we are going to turn the 300 grams of saved croissant dough into a colored dough by adding water, butter, and cocoa powder. Mix well with a paddle attachment and divide into 2 equal portions, shape into rounds, and place in the freezer for 10 minutes or until it gets firm enough to roll out into 2 squared sheets and keep frozen until ready to use. Long story short, I have tried a few bicolor croissant recipes before making this video and came to the conclusion that making the colored dough out of the already mixed and fermented croissant dough produces best results. Next, the laminating process. One of the key techniques in making croissant is the process of lamination, known as tourage in French. This technique involves layering butter between the dough to create those signature airy layers. So during the summer season, butter block won't take that long before it becomes supple and ready to be used. Just about 5 minutes. Get the croissant dough out of the freezer and roll out into two 6 by 16 inch, 15 by 40 centimeter rectangles, about twice the length of the butter block. Place butter on top of the dough and fold over the butter, encasing it in dough. Rotate to a quarter turn and gently press down with a rolling pin. To follow, and with a cutter, make a deep straight cut on each border. This trick helps the butter to get evenly distributed throughout the dough right from the beginning. Flatten a little bit and let rest 10 minutes in a refrigerator before giving the first turn. If you do have a dough sheeter though, skip it. So here we go. We're gonna give a double turn. Fold, tour double first. Roll out the dough into a long strip. Keep all edges as straight as possible, starting rolling it out from the center of the dough towards the edges and not from one side of the dough all the way to the other side. This technique helps to keep the dough at an even thickness. Fold in approximately 1/6 of the dough from the left edge inward. Then bring the other edge of the dough to meet the folded edge. Then the right third is folded in. And fold the entire folded dough in half, like you would a book. Then roll out the dough into a long and thick rectangle. Cover the dough with plastic wrap or parchment and let rest in a refrigerator for 30 minutes. Alright, to follow, we are going to give the single turn, tour simple. Roll out dough into a 6 by 27 inches, 15 by 70 centimeter rectangle, like so. And in order to create straight, clean edges, the edges may be trimmed prior folding. Then the dough is folded in thirds, like a business letter. Alright, so one double turn plus one single turn. Now you want to flatten the laminated croissant dough into an 8.5 inches, 22 centimeter squared slab, bâton in French, and place in a refrigerator an hour to rest. Alright, so now the fun. You want to gently moisturize the surface of the croissant dough and cover it with the frozen colored dough sheet, like so. Flatten to seal and refrigerate. Alright guys, and as promised, I'm gonna use my pasta maker. You know, I've been thinking about using my pasta machine to make croissant for a long time. And I finally came out with a great alternative to the dough sheeter, which obviously can't be subbed for a pasta machine, but it turns out to be very helpful. And again, if you have a dough sheeter, you don't have to cut the dough in half. Flatten out and place in a freezer for 15 minutes or so, and then keep the dough refrigerated. Roll out dough so then it fits in the widest setting of the rollers. Gently feed the dough through the pasta machine, taking care to support the dough as it passes through. Comes thinner, gradually decrease the thickness setting on the pasta machine and continue to pass the dough through until it reaches 5 mm thickness. And you should end up with an 8 by 19 inches, 20 by 48 centimeter rectangle. Just good to make 10 to 12 chocolate croissants or 8 croissants. So this recipe yields 32 to 48 items total. Awesome! Alright, so that's the first round, and we've done so far 12 chocolate croissant chocolatine. So these are pretty small, I would guess around 50 grams each. So if you go a little over 65 grams, you'll make 10 instead. So once done, egg wash, freeze for 10 minutes, and score, and place in a freezer. Next batch, croissant. Roll out dough into the same thickness, 5 millimeters, cut in half, then into lengthwise, and make 2 triangles out of each rectangle. Make sense? Now you've got 8 65 to 70 grams croissant. Now shaping. With the base of the triangle held in one hand, elongate the dough by very gently stretching from the base and continuing all the way to the tip of the triangle. Starting at the base of the triangle, roll toward the tip and press down the tip to seal the rolled croissant. Feels like baby skin. Repeat until all triangles are rolled. Egg wash and freeze. Freeze in croissant overnight, strengthen the gluten, improving final results. Let's proof for 2 to 3 hours at 25 degrees Celsius, 77 Fahrenheit, and bake in a fan oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Alright, let's bake this bad boys and see what happens. I know it's gonna be fantastic. Discover the ultimate guide to making perfect bicolor croissants on my blog at Pastry Fundamentals Premium. This exclusive recipe is meticulously detailed and accurate, providing you all the steps and tips needed to achieve stunning and delicious croissants. Look at this. And you know what? The only way to taste it is to make it. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and click down below to the subscribe button. Have a beautiful sunny day. See you very soon.